How's it going, everyone? It's December 6th, 2024, Northwest Washington, Zone 8. It's 4 o'clock p.m., almost dark here. It gets dark early this time of year. And I actually found some Pixie Crunch that I had grafted that I didn't pick because I forgot about it. And there was 2 apples on this young grafted tree. And even though this apple ripens pretty early in the fall, surprisingly it's still hanging. And just the other day I tasted some Pixie Crunch out of the fridge that I picked earlier. So when you pick it ripe off the tree, it was delicious. You know, I would say like a 9.5 or a 10. And then when I tasted it out of the fridge, like a month and a half later after picking yesterday, it loses too much acidity for my liking, and so it just becomes cloyingly sweet, and a lot of the flavor is lost and the texture is lost. So let's see if it's different when you pick it off the tree. Let's pick the bigger one. It's probably overripe, but I still want to try. A little bit of defects here and there, but it's been hanging like for way too long. Yeah, they lose their flavor if you let your Pixie Crunch overhang. It's just, it gets a little bit more bland. Really sweet. It's just, it loses flavor and texture. That's Pixie Crunch, but it still hangs. And this would make still really good juice, cooking, whatever. Like, it's not like completely soft, and it's still crispy, but it lost a lot of its texture from the time when it was in prime picking. So yeah, now if I compare this to Gold Rush, this is Gold Rush, and it's still hanging. We already had frost down to probably 25 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe 28. The Weather Channel always shows like 30, but we're always way below that here. So yeah, this apple usually hangs on for dear life, but this is like a rare occurrence. I found 4 apples that fell off the tree. So yeah, I wonder if these apples were damaged in any way. No, I think they're just ready to be picked. They just fell off the tree. Look at these. Even though this one fell, still crispy, still juicy. And unlike Pixie Crunch, which I picked earlier, lost its flavor and texture, Gold Rush kept its flavor and texture up until this point. Now, if you want this apple to store longer with better texture in the fridge, then you probably want to pick it earlier. Probably like beginning of November at the earliest. Well, like mid-November maybe, or early November. In my climate is when you want to pick these, and probably before the first heavy frosts. The frost that we got here, that got down to like 28 or 25, may have done a little bit of damage internally, but it doesn't look like it. There was definitely ice everywhere outside, but these apples are able to handle it somehow. Somehow they're able to handle it and still hang. This tree's loaded this year. This is another one of my grafts to Pacific crab. There's the graft union grafted high, about 2 feet off the ground. Malus fusca, Pacific crab, and gold rush directly to it. Grown on wetland soil, fertile soil, but wet. And this is what you can get as a result. There's no excuse for not growing apples, especially in Washington. We got some of the lowest disease pressure and pest pressure in the country. I never spray anything on my apples. No pesticides, no herbicides. And I don't even use fertilizers other than manure, which is a fertilizer, but I mean like synthetic fertilizers. I don't use them. I haven't used them. I mean, I may use them in the future, but I've not ever used them yet. But for spraying, I don't think in Washington we need to. If you're a home orchard, if you're a backyard grower, you can get away with not spraying if you grow this variety in the Pacific Northwest. It does not require any sprays. I do not see any disease issues. I do not see a lot of scab. I mean, you'll see a little bit of powdery mildew on the apple. It's just cosmetic. Just cosmetic. Really good apple. This has always been on the top of my list variety. Yep. I'm probably gonna pick these soon. I was sick for the past couple days, so I didn't get to them in time. They start falling, but I'm gonna have to pick these pretty quick. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.